What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out The Last Haven. We haven't played this one in about a year and a half, I think, and it's been updated a lot since the last time we checked it out. If you've never seen The Last Haven before, effectively this game is a real-time strategy game set in a post-apocalyptic world where you're trying to balance your society with also building up an army that's capable of invading territories off to the side of you and stealing back resources that you're going to need in order to survive. We're going to spend about 30 minutes with the game today and see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or otherwise pass on. If after watching this you did indeed want to do that, I've always got a little linkage for you down below in the description. You'll also find a nice little pathway to my community hub on Discord. You can also find my Twitch stream, and you can find my Tweetar, just in case you wanted to swing through any of those. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into a new game. We've got to pick what map we want to play on. I actually kind of like the village a little bit better. This is for people that have already played the game. I don't like the forest because I don't get lots of areas to kind of like build in. It can be kind of like a pain in the butt, I guess. I'm the kind of person that likes to have my base very much kind of just like laid out and taken care of and like in grids, and the forest just doesn't allow for that. I've got to build very organically and all over the place, and it just, for some reason, it nags at me. So I tend to go with either the village or the city. I think we'll probably go... Yeah, let's do the village. We'll cut it midway in between the hinterland and the city. That sounds good. We've got to pick what flag we want to rock with. What flag really represents me as a human being? I don't know. I feel like, you know, I was hoping for something like a nice crimson fist in there somewhere, but I figure a star at the corner with the red will probably work. We can pick what our unit outfits look like for the duration of our play. I've always been a big fan of the urban and the snow camo, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We'll go ahead and start that on off. Yes, I would love to start a new game. That's exactly my point in being here, is starting new games. So here's the village. At the beginning of the game, I'm going to pause it up a little bit so that you can take a look around and kind of get your bearings. We start out with 9 soldiers over here, and we can kind of pull them off in this direction. I know, lucky day to be a soldier. They'll go off in that side, and we can use them to scavenge, but for right now, we kind of want to get the basics of our society set up right here at the outset. Otherwise, you're going to start bleeding resources pretty fast. In the UI, we've got wood, we've got rock, we've got metal, we've got polymers, we've got coal, we've got fuel, electronics, food, we've got how many people are available. We will get immigrants as time goes along. We've got 29 homeless, we've got some unemployed, and we've got some unemployed. So about 20 people to play around with, and the 9 that aren't included are in the military right now. At the beginning of the game, you're going to need to have a warehouse. If you don't have a warehouse, there's no central repository for your people to kind of spread out and get the things that they need from. And so this is usually what I start with. I accidentally rotated my camera a little bit. We'll put our first warehouse right here. So there it goes, and you'll see that some of our villagers are going to go off and start building that thing. And then I'm going to start using my soldiers to just, like, loot houses, basically. If you hold down the tab key, it will allow you to basically see any lootable items that might be around. Well, at least it did. I don't know if it's doing it right now. There's polymers right there. There it goes. It did it for a second. Maybe my tab key's a little bit sticky. And we can kind of just click around and find the stuff that we want to get inside each of these locations. Hey, there's a silenced MP5 right there. Very nice. With our soldiers, there are some basic settings that I like to fiddle with. Down here on the right, you've basically got like an action bar for all the things your soldiers can do, from like crouching to shooting. I would like to see a tooltip on each one of these that kind of fills in and lets you know the differences, because there's like... I want to know specifically what defensive and offensive bonuses do I get for prone firing, crouch firing, high ready, all that kind of stuff. We can manually reload everybody. I'm going to turn off enemy pursuit because that can be super annoying and they'll run all over the map. I'll probably put them on short burst fire just to conserve ammunition. Each one of these characters does use ammunition, and we actually have a stockpile inside of our inventory right here that will dwindle. I'm going to leave them on rearmament, so when we pick up guns and they've been idle for a little while, what they'll do is if you have a warehouse constructed, they'll go to the warehouse and they'll equip themselves with the best stuff they can get their hands on. And that's actually a really, really good thing. And now that we have our warehouse down, we want to think about other buildings that we can put down. We have a sawmill over here. There are some trees on this side, and so I do think there's some merit to getting a sawmill in, kind of like in this spot over here. We aren't going to get, like, maximum tree out of that. So, like, maybe we put it right there instead. Yeah, that seems okay. We'll just get rid of some of these trees over here. And then with my soldiers, let's continue panning and scanning on out and seeing what we can find around. There's some fuel. There's a Type 97, so we've got a little bit of like a bullpup right there. Okay, that'll be nice. Let's continue kind of looking around the map and seeing what we can clear out of the fog of war real fast. I'm going to send them on down to this little school area real quick, too. All right, so with those 2 buildings going, we are going to need some more buildings. A resource station. What a resource station does is a resource station goes out and gathers anything. So, for example, they'll go get metal from this metal laying on the ground. They'll harvest the fences. They'll harvest the light poles. They'll harvest the berries. They'll harvest all the stuff in the houses. It can be a very useful building. So we'll plop one of those right there. And then we're also going to need a greenhouse. Otherwise, we're not going to have very much food. I do hope that at some point they consider adding a grid to the game, so that I can like organize everything and make it look all purty. It's not necessary for right now, but it is one of those observations that every now and again I get a building that's just slightly off, and it drives me nuts. There is a building over here. Is there anything good inside of it? There's another Type 97. I'll take it. We've got some wood. We've got some wood. And we've got some fuel right there. Okay, not a whole lot else. I'd also like the ability, I don't know if this is in the game. I looked around for it for a while I was playing for like an hour or so. And I was looking to see if maybe I could find a way to get them to work in tighter formation while playing the game, but I didn't see anything like that, but I would very much like that to be implemented. I find that their unit spacing is kind of realistic, like the 5-10 meter spacing to avoid a massed fire. But for the context of the game, it makes it very, very difficult to amass your units like in one spot to fight without using actual sandbag defensive emplacements or whatever else you might need. We can't get to those houses because they're on the bottom part of the map, unfortunately. So we can't get on in there. It's a bummer, but maybe later. We can't go up and over this way, though, to see what's on the other side of the river. There will be attacks. There will be people coming along who are going to try to hurt us as we play the game. So keep that in mind. Our warehouse is done, so all the people with the little hunger symbol above their head, what they'll do is they'll all go to the warehouse to eat. I'm not entirely sure if I like that system and its implementation because it works for your soldiers too. So, like, you can have people in guard emplacements, but when they get hungry, they will go and eat, and they'll abandon their post effectively to go and eat. I think I'd personally just kind of prefer that each person that exists within the context of your colony, you just have, like, a passive drain on food rather than everybody having to drop what they're doing to go eat. I don't know. It is more immersive with the way that it is right now, but at the same time, it can lead to weird stuff happening when you have, like, guard shifts or whatever. If the enemy attacks at, like, just the right moment... Oh, I missed a FAMAS in there. It can lead to problems if the enemy attacks at like just the right moment while your shift change is happening, and it can be like, ugh, it can be a little bit of a mess. We'll have them carry on down the road over here. It sounds like, ooh, there's just an MP5 laying out in the rain over there. Yeah, I'll grab that. A little bit of fuel on that side too. Some polymers, another AKM. Wow, there are a lot of guns around right here. Where is this taking place? Alabama? There are like some serious high-powered badass weapons available right now. I don't know why a Geiger counter is going off. It always goes off whenever it rains, so I assume that the rain is actually bringing in radiation. But I haven't seen it, like, negatively affect my units or anything just yet. Then again, I haven't been super observant about it either. We still have 8 unemployed people. All of our initial buildings have been placed. I think it'd be a good idea to maybe get some houses rocking so that people are no longer homeless. We can get these shacks right here. They provide 5 housing for our colony. And I think we've got a good little spot right here where we can just kind of stamp out a couple of them. There we go. And look at that. Our village has been begun. And so now we don't have to worry about much. Let's go ahead and look around. We'll scout for threats or anything else that we can get rid of. We can also do some light foraging while we're out and about on the map. It looks like this is the boundary right here, so we can't go much further than the highway on this side. I'm going to go ahead and speed up time. If I could speed up time... If I could loot some stuff. It doesn't look like there's any stuff inside of there. So I guess I shall leave the stuff behind and feel the pain in my heart that stuff was unavailable to me. We've got an M4 right there. Okay. We had like some polymers and stuff. Go ahead and check this little area as well. Doesn't look like there's much over here. However, there is a building right here that looks like it is full of the fuelsies. So we'll go ahead and get some of that dino juice right there and just fold it into our operation. As you can see, our sawmill is working. We've got people chopping lumber. I think eventually these trees do fall down, although I'm not super sure about it. I don't know where enemy attacks are going to be coming from, so I don't know where the best spot to put my patrols is just yet. And so I'll probably just have, like, some of these guys down here at the bottom. I'll probably have them come up and guard on the road on that side. And then these guys can sort of just clump together and watch this side. And then we'll just adapt one of our flanks to wherever they need to go for when the attacks start. The nice thing is we've already got a pre-existing fence right there, which buys us a little bit of time. We've also kind of got one on that side, too. So I'm feeling pretty good about what we've got going on right now. We do have a zombie boar on the edge of the village, which kind of sucks. The good news there is... oh, there's a zombie attacking one of my villagers. You can see him right there. There you go. Get him, military. Get him, military. Light him up. The sound design in this game is done very, very well. I very much like the sound design. And it looks to me like they have swapped out their weapons for AKMs and things. They've also got proximity sound, which is very, very nice. So the further you are away, the more snap-like the gunshot becomes. I always love that little auditory effect whenever they do it in games. Like whenever you're playing like a first-person shooter and they've properly set up the sound design so that when you're like a kilometer away from fighting, it just sounds like a load of pops and whatnot, but it's not quite as bassy. I love that. Did I get everything from inside? I think I got everything on the map, in all honesty. These guys look like they've taken no time to start equipping the bullpups and whatnot. Yeah, we're actually fairly well armed right now. There are going to be raids and things that try to take us out as time goes along, but for the moment, we should be somewhat safe. 2 of our shacks are done. That is going to free up some of our unemployed. I would suggest that we get a research center up and running now rather than later. We do need to find like a sweet spot for it, and I don't know where I want that sweet spot to be. Like, you can't build everywhere. I do kind of wish that it gave you, like, a green and red grid that would show you the buildable and the non-buildable areas as you kind of try to stamp things out, or the ability just to place something and have it destroy the tree, I think would also be really, really nice. It looks like we can put the research station right there. So that's what I'll do. Research station, you live on the north side of town. That'll allow us to start working our way down the tech tree so that we can get some new stuff. We can set up manufactories. We can set up all kinds of goodies by using that. The downside is I don't think we're bringing in that much as far as our wood is concerned. I'll have them focus on specific trees for now, I guess. I'll have you guys take a knee while you're over here, and you guys do something similar. I don't know how that affects my firing, but I assume that it might make me a little bit more accurate. They can fire through buildings and stuff if they have the line of sight for it. I think I may actually shift these guys over to here because it seems like that's where the enemy's coming from. So we'll maybe set them up on this corner. I've noticed that the game does you a little bit of a favor in that it sets itself up in such a way that enemies tend to come from like specific angles depending on the map that you're playing at. And so it shouldn't be too hard for you to figure out where you want your guard post to be stationed at. Later on, we'll be able to get emplacements. And those emplacements will use up our unemployed in order to make like permanently manned structures like pillboxes and machine gun turrets and towers and things like that that will constantly have guys inside of them so that you don't really have to worry about things going too hectic, and then you can use these guys to go out and like rob and steal and raid and all that kind of fun stuff. But for the moment, we're stuck where we're stuck at. We have an event. One of the residents asks to let him go. Okay. He just wants to, like, leave. He doesn't want to live here anymore. But it's so awesome here, dude. Like, look at all the sundries and the amenities that I've provided you with. Who would ever want to leave and go back out into the radioactive hellscape? He shouldn't be pursuing enemies, but, like, I don't know why he's chasing people down over there. Oh, it's because the enemy's hitting us when everybody's hungry. Gotcha. Yeah, you come back over here and you just hold this position. You don't really have to go anywhere or do anything. I just want you to be in position. It's come to my attention that that's one of our guys that's abandoning his post and leaving. The real downside is that he took his gear with him, so we just lose out on that MP5. Guns are limited in this game, and so when you find really good guns like, you know, AKMs and 47s and M4s and things like that, you kind of want to keep them. What I like to work towards first is I like to get myself working towards a hospital, because as it stands right now, we have no way to heal anybody if they get wounded. and I just don't like operating under those circumstances. I would very much prefer that we always have, like, food and, that we always have medical help available. Like, it's just nice. You don't end up with units taking attrition because they can go to the hospital and just get healed up real fast after sorties and skirmishes and things of that nature. So I'm going to work my way towards the hospital. We still have 6 people that are unemployed. Our food is taking a little bit of a hit, so I kind of feel like maybe another greenhouse is a good idea. I'm not, like, against it. I don't know if I want my greenhouse to face the road or not. Where do I want my greenhouse to go? That one's kind of like on the periphery of everything else, and that worries me. We'll put it right there, back behind this little guardrail. In a perfect world, they might tear down the guardrail over time, but I can tell them what resource to select. Yeah, I sort of feel like we should go after the berries over there. That's what it feels like to me anyways. Like, our food's a little bit rough, whereas on polymers and everything else, we're in pretty good shape. The game does have an overworld map. You are able to take your guys out, and you are able to go and, like, hit some of these little areas over here. We are currently in the village. We are the New Order. That is Grayson Morris right there, who is apparently doing something. Hopefully not coming to us. If he's coming to us, we got issues. Uh-oh, he's coming to us. Well, that's just not great. Man, we're just getting settled in right now. Grayson Morris, you get the hell out of here, man. Nobody wants to talk to you, Grayson. You aren't the king of the wasteland, no matter how bad you think you are. The New Order is coming, and you will be folded into our great and glorious empire. There's another event over here. Hold on, what does he want? One of our people looks sick. Maybe he just caught a cold. What should we do? We'll ignore it. He'll be fine, dude. He'll be fine. We're about to build a hospital anyways. That research only has 7 hours left to go. Like, we'll be there in just a minute. Well, hopefully dear old Grayson doesn't decide to hit us this early on in the game. Otherwise, I've got a sneaking suspicion that we're going to have a hard time out here in the wilderness. We're going to have a real bad time. I heard a zombie, but, like, I don't know where he's at. Let's go ahead and get the field hospital next. Get that research all nice and taken care of. Maybe he's a traitor. Like, maybe Grayson Morris is not a bad guy. Maybe he just kind of looks scary. And one thing you need to be aware of with the core mechanic of this game is called stability. This is effectively the health of your society, and if this meter ever goes down to 0, you lose. Through events, you will be able to boost this up or push it down, depending on the decisions you make as a leader. It's something to think of. Let's see here. We have refugees. Yeah, refugees can come on in. Welcome on in, folks. I could use some more people. We've got 9 homeless. All right, we'll get to work. Cut yourself a little piece of territory over here. You are welcome, my friends. You are welcome. We'll go ahead and, yeah, we'll drop a house right there. And then maybe we'll drop another little house, like, over here. Let's make it nice and safe. Yeah, right in the middle of the road, dude. Nobody has vehicles anymore. It'll be fine. We've got 2 people that are diseased right now. That's not great, but our hospital is coming in 22 hours, so we should be able to get on top of that before things go too wild and crazy. It might be the refugees that are sick, too. Sometimes the refugees will drag in sick people. What is this? Let's see here. There is a cellar with food near our camp. We can send out 3 people. Yeah, let's do it. We need food. Food sounds good. So we're going to lose 3 of our workers for a little bit, and as you can see, they all came out of the resource station. But we can go ahead and just apply new people on into there. It's fine. It's no biggie. I would prefer that that be automated, so like the 3 people should be taken from your idle unemployed first, rather than other people in your colony that actively have jobs. But it's not one of those things that's so annoying that, like, I'm going to rant on and on about it. It's workable. Okay, our hospital's all nice and done. So let's beeline that real fast because the hospital is going to be intensely important. We'll put the hospital down at the end of the road right here. It looks like we also have some infected zombie boars that are attacking us. And it looks like we've got some zombies in behind them that need to be dealt with. Luckily, our firing line is pretty strong right now, so I wouldn't worry too much about casualties or anything else going wrong. It looks like they are hitting us from different angles, though. So we're going to have to deal with that. You guys pull on up over here and deal with those Zeds real fast. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. This game is kind of stocked with little details that I like a lot, like suppressed weapons are actually suppressed. I very much like that there's like a gun report on some things, and then others are very, very quiet. What's going on over here? A merchant has wandered into our camp. We don't have any money right now, so the merchant is not going to be that helpful. So I'll just ignore him for the moment. I thought I saw somebody wandering in over here, too. What is that, a goat? Oh, yeah, dude, there's some kind of, like, ibex or something right there that's headed our way. Cool. We definitely need that medical station to be done as soon as possible to help out with disease. I think I'll probably go for Science 1 first so that we can start making pillboxes. That way I can plant a pillbox in, like, strategic locations in order to take care of our situation. One of our people is infected. Oh no, I've never actually seen that event before. Okay, that's an issue. Soldiers, come deal with him. Oh, never mind, villager got him. Okay. Your villagers are capable of like some basic bare bones level of self-defense in case you were wondering about it. They can do that, and so that's what we ran into right there. Go ahead and get that. I need this done, dude. I need this done bad. Yeah, throw another person on it. I can't afford to keep losing people to zombies. Like, we just brought in refugees, so it's okay that we lost somebody to zombies. But, like, I would prefer not to lose people to zombies. We're also going to have bandit raids pretty soon. Like, we're getting towards that point right now where bandit raids are entirely possible. Let's see here. Our people returned. They failed the task at the scene of the search was hostile looters. They didn't take any risks and came back home. That's fine. That's okay. That's probably the smart way to run it, in all honesty. So as you can see, the people that are sick, they're going to come over here to the hospital. They're going to hang out for a little bit. It's going to subtract some herbs from our overall inventory, and then they will be all better. It works the same way with HP. If anybody takes any damage, like in a shootout with raiders or whatever, you can just get them restored nice and easy. It's no biggie. So that's how that works. They're going to have to stay in there for a little while for it to function, but alright, so we've got an attack coming in 76 hours. I'll try to show you what that looks like so that you can see the actual shootouts between factions. We haven't really left our map at all, so like, meh. But I think actually another science center might not be... Oh, you can only have the one. Oh, I was going to build another one to try to speed things up. Well, that's a bummer. Alright, well then another sawmill, I figure it is. Yeah, I think another sawmill is probably not the worst idea. We can probably put one in, like, over here-ish. Seems like a really good spot for it. Or, like, right up against that forest right there, although that's kind of scarily near the edge of the map, so it kind of worries me. There are some trees down there, and there are some trees down there. I think, like, our boy should probably be, like, right here. This just feels right to me. I'm hoping at some point they allow you to tear down houses and stuff to make more space. That'd be something that I'd be really, really on board for. I think that sounds super good. Our food is mostly positive right now, so I'm not that worried about that. So we'll just let her ride, and we'll kind of see how this plays out as the enemy draws nearer. One of your residents is asking to go in search of his dog. Sure, I love dogs. Go for it. We'll give you a little bit of food. It's kind of like a send-off, too. Plus, we need to recover our stability a little bit after taking in extra refugees, and so there's really no way around that. We've got to take events that give us stability where we can. Well, our pillbox research is done. I don't know exactly where we're going to get hit by the enemy, but we can do a pillbox right here. So, not a terrible idea. I'll probably... Oh, we got a bunch more bad guys coming in. Hold on a second. Let me take care of this problem real fast. We've got some infected boars over on this side that are going to be a very real issue if we don't deal with it now. Oh, there's glass breaking when you shoot through certain buildings. I didn't even notice that. This game is full of little details like that. Like, sometimes you discharge a gun and it, like, hits a car and you can see glass flying out of the other side and then dust coming off the side of the building as the bullet passes through. This game has, like, a ton of little interesting, like, details around all the gunplay like that. Like, I think, honestly, that's one of the things the game has done the best, is just all the random little details that go into discharging weapons and killing enemies. It's good stuff. It's real, real good stuff. Our food is dwindling, like, a little bit. I feel like it probably is a good idea to get ourselves maybe another greenhouse. I know I already have so many greenhouses, but like, it's kind of how the game works. You just gotta have a lot of greenhouses. There's really not a lot of ways around it. I guess I'll put a greenhouse You can put like a little row of greenhouses right here. I don't think we need like multiples. I don't even think we have the workers for multiples, in all honesty. We've only got 4 unemployed left, so all of our unemployed guys are going to go inside the construction area. But that's sort of the way that it goes. Well, the attack is upon us, so that's probably the last thing I'll show off in the video. We don't get to raid any neighboring colony areas just because like we don't have enough soldiers to do it right now. But, oh good, we're being attacked by hideous wildlife as well while we're trying to survive out here. Beautiful. Just what I felt like dealing with. Oh, there's a fowl? Hold up. There's some good stuff in there, dude. Alright, where are these baddies at, man? I need some more refugees, too. Oh, they came in from that way. That's not the worst thing that I've ever seen. Should be able to regroup in the middle of the cairn. Marauders have wandered into the village. They demand fuel. What do you want to do with them? We'll kill them. That's the fun option. Let's, engage in some post-apocalyptic turd murder, man. If they want to be turds and they want to try to roll on through and slaughter us for our guzzling, we're not going to allow it. We go. We fight. We got to Outlander. We gotta take care of it. This is the post-apocalypse after all, dude. It's time to get your ski masks on. Since they're going to be coming from that way, what I'll more than likely do is we'll just amass these guys up right here. Yeah, let's just get these guys all nice and clumpy-wumpied. Because I don't think the enemy is going to have access to grenades or anything. And then we'll just put them in a prone position right there so that they get that extra mitigation. Maybe a little bit of extra accuracy, too. Oh, it sounds like the raiders are running into zombies as well. Yeah, they are. They're dealing with the undead, too. Okay. Let's get everybody, like, clumpied back up. Like, I need everybody, like, roughly the same distance away from the enemy. And we'll just set up a kill line over here. Hopefully, they're going up and around that way. Okay, well, you guys come over here then. I don't know what they're planning on attacking. Not sure actually what they're going for. That guy got instantly wasted. Just, see, he didn't know that we were going to be hiding in the bushes waiting on him. That's what happened right there. He didn't expect us to be tactical assassins. All right, so we got some free bullets, and we've got a Chiappa Rhino, actually. That's kind of a cool gun. I've always wanted to own a Chiappa Rhino. Chiappa Rhino, if you've never seen it before, it's kind of like a Blade Runner revolver that is like, it boasts that it's one of the few recoilless, or at least highly recoil-reduced 357 Magnums that exists. It's a pretty cool gun, actually. It's got the barrel on the bottom instead and uses the top where the barrel would normally go, like in the receiver. It uses that as just a counterweight to kind of stop the blowback and like stop the, well, blowback is what happens with the slide, but anyways, to stop the kick from the recoil of a shot. And I've heard it's actually a really pleasant gun to fire. So anyways, this is The Last Haven. Hope you guys liked it. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. I've been having a bunch of fun with this game, in fact, and I figured I'd show it off since we hadn't checked it out in a long, long time. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for patronizing my content. It's been a wonderful 10 years because of each and every one of you deciding to come through every day and say hello and check out the content that I'm putting out. I'll see y'all later, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.